Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We're just about to begin, so please take your seats at this time. Thank you, and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mark Hurd.
Okay. Hi. This is not an audience poll question, but is everything going well so far? I'm looking for energy here. All right, so we're pleased to have Infosys with us as a sponsor this year. Great partner of our company. They have over a $1.2 billion Oracle practice. They have over this is not meant for intermittent applause, but it's okay. 25,000 Oracle consultants dedicated to Oracle, joint strategic cloud go-to-market offerings with us. They've done over 75 Oracle cloud engagements, over 20 cloud go-lives that span HCM, CX, ERP. They have 5 Oracle Marketplace cloud solutions, 8 fixed-price Oracle Cloud scope offerings, and so really the team in Infosys has gone all in. The reason I read that, all in on the cloud with us. We very much appreciate it. We deeply value their partnership. They have just a fantastic, terrific CEO in Vishal Sikka, and I really appreciate you giving him a warm Oracle welcome, Vishal Sikka.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thanks, Mark. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. Really awesome to be here. Thanks, Mark, for the kind words. It is a interesting times that we are living in, times of tremendous change and disruption and transformation. And a lot of people ask me about AI, and every other day we see in the news some announcement about AI or the other, usually with people names. I think the fancier word for it is anthropomorphizing, where we come up with a name for something that is a person's name. But really what is going on is there has been an incredible acceleration in the rate of change and the rate at which established companies are being disrupted. And when I look at AI technology, it only stands to accelerate further that rate of change to cause more challenges, but also more opportunities for all of us in business. So I want to talk about how in these kinds of times, we as a business can be more. We can thrive and make the change a friend of our strategy, an opportunity for us to grow in, not only one to merely survive and hang on in. When we think about what is going on in the world around us, there is a very deep-rooted sense of improving connectivity, of improving connectedness. It's more than connectivity. It's not just the availability of Wi-Fi in flight, but it is about a very deep-rooted sense in which the world around us is becoming increasingly connected. You see a picture of that moat, the second picture on the top. That's actually a tiny computer made by the University of Michigan. It's called the M3 moat. It is sitting on top of a dime, of a US dime. You can see that the entire moat is smaller than 3 of the characters on that dime. It's about a cubic millimeter in size. It measures acceleration, it measures temperature change and so forth. It's actually a complete computer in that size. Soon we will have computers that can dissolve inside drinks. There is also a sense in which that pervasive connectivity is changing the way in which we experience computing, in which we experience information. Virtual reality has become exceedingly popular as well as powerful as a new channel, a new way for us to engage with information. So that ubiquity of computing and digital technology is leading to a ubiquity in the way in which we consume information. It is also leading to a ubiquity in computing itself. Cars are increasingly taking the shapes of computers. In fact, computers are taking the shapes of cars. One of the things that we don't realize about a modern smartphone is it's not a phone at all, it is actually a computer that has taken on the shape of a phone. Similarly, a modern car is not so much a piece of bent metal as it is a computer that is in the shape of a car. So that pervasive connectedness and the importance of experience in many different channels and many different forms is creating an opportunity where things that we have known as discrete things are becoming services. Every other day we think of something or the other becoming a service. And this change is being powered by incessant advances in computing. Moore's law is now 51 years old. It is still going strong. There are some signs that the traditional Moore's law as we have known it in the traditional digital manufacturing technologies is slowing down. But nonetheless, even the current Moore's law is expected to continue at least until 2024, so another 8 years. The picture that you see on the left over there is the Pixar farm that was built by Sun. I still see the Sun name out there on the computer. That is a farm of Sun computers that rendered the movie Toy Story back in 1995. And you see the iPhones down there. Their entire farm had about 2 billion transistors inside it. A single iPhone today, that's the picture of the iPhone 7, has twice as many transistors as their entire farm did. And when you walk outside here, outside this hall, you see the great machines that Oracle built, the Sun Oracle machines. And that's a picture of me standing next to one of these yesterday. I was fascinated by this particular one. This is the Exadata 6-2, I think. It has 1,320 CPU cores and more than 25 terabytes of DRAM. It's unbelievable. That is more than 2,000 times more powerful than that entire Toy Story farm that you see in that picture. So there is an incredible advance in computing. Our brains are not wired to understand exponential laws. We understand them conceptually, but we don't fully grasp them. And when we see that something becomes twice as powerful within 18 to 24 months, or even with a slowed down Moore's law in 3 years, it is still an exceptional advance in computing. And that advance in computing is also creating an opportunity for new kinds of intelligent systems. I talked about AI earlier. Artificial intelligence technology is creating new kinds of systems. The self-driving cars that you see in that picture there. But also the other picture that you see is a Oracle chatbot that Oracle just announced a couple of days ago. So new experiences, new ways of building intelligence into our systems. By the way, there is also going to be, as a result of all of this, and especially when we look post-2024, new kinds of computers that will start to show up. On the right of the bot, what I have is a schematic of this Iris processor from MIT. That's an AI-specific processor with dedicated instructions for machine learning and neural networks and so forth. So the pervasive connectedness of the world around us and the intelligence in the infrastructure is creating an opportunity for established companies to be disintermediated faster than ever before. In the world of atoms, in the physical world, lots of intermediaries show up between the producer and the consumer. And each of those intermediaries feels the need to add value and ends up creating inefficiencies and lack of transparency. And in this world of pervasive connectedness, pervasive digital, and massive computing power powering this, and now augmented by artificial intelligence, we see that it is possible to create much simpler, much more connected, much more efficient, much more elastic value chains. And that is what is, in my senses, it's an extremely abbreviated sense of what is going on in the world around us. So what do we do about it? How do we deal with this? My sense is that a very straightforward pattern applies to our ability to deal with change, to our ability to make this kind of exponential change into something that we can thrive in, and that inspiration comes from the work of Arthur Koestler many decades ago, when he talked about the act of creation as one in which we deal with the known things, and a world in which we think about changing our paradigm. And these two are habitually incompatible, but they have to be consistent. So within the same company, we need to have the people who are constantly improving and innovating on what is already known. Alan Kay called this the pink plane. But there are also people who think about the completely new world, about a different paradigm, changing the context. And that is the completely new world, which is about being different. And both of this duality of renewing all the things that we know about and in parallel venturing into the new kinds of things for our business has to rest on a foundation of culture, a foundation of values and education and purpose that unites us as we go through these changes in technologies across horizons. I asked Alan that I was going to be here at Open World and talk about this transformation and AI and so forth, and I asked him to make a brief message for all of you. And can we play the video by Alan?
Hi Vishal and Larry and Oracle. It's a privilege to be working and playing with you to invent greater futures. I'm associated with the phrase, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. But of course, most people want the easier route. And the easier route to invent the future is to prevent it. And they're doing it all the time. But not you guys. You guys are out there changing the present into different futures every week, every month, every year. Now, Einstein had a definition of insanity, which is people doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for different results. That's not what we want. What we want is the time to not just deal with the things that we have to work on, the things that are in our present right now, but we have to break out some time in order to deal with things that are not in our present and even not in our normal. And we might have to do some work, some problem finding instead of problem solving. We might have to go away from some of our current goals. We might have to abandon some of them in order to understand what it is that we really have to do next. So we not just have to criticize the current processes that we're working on, but we have to have processes that help us find new processes. Now, if you type monkey with hand in jar into Google, you'll find many entries, including YouTube videos of how monkeys are caught. And they're primates just like us, but if you put some food in a jar or put some food in a hole in the wall, it's just the size of the hand. The monkey will put the hand in, grab onto the food, and then get stuck. It will not be able to get its hand out, even though it can let go of the food at any time. And people just come by and gather up the monkeys, because even though they're primates like us, they have some of our same problems, which is we have a hard time abandoning goals, we have a hard time abandoning near-term prizes, and we often miss the big prizes instead. So if we stand back and look at history, we can see that learning has been the key to change. Most of the learning we do when we grow up is to learn normal, but we can also teach the learning of non-normal, the idea that there are invisible things that haven't been manifested yet that we can make happen. So we sometimes think of learning as an individual process. Of course, we usually do it in the context of society and a group, but it's when learning happens in a culture, when it becomes embedded into normal, a new normal, that we can actually make big progress. And that's what's been happening the last few hundred years. So this is different from preventing the future. It's scary. It takes more risk to do that. But I think we'd all rather live in a future that we can invent than one that is just an endless extension of the present. Thanks very much, and have a great time at your conference.
Thanks, Alan. So this idea of getting out of our context, as Alan talked about, is at the heart of our ability to reinvent ourselves. So two different velocities of innovation. The innovation in the known, being better at what we already know, what we already do, and being different, being able to do completely new kinds of things, as well as a culture in which we can continually reinvent ourselves. I want to talk to you about how Infosys and Oracle are working together to bring this change into your businesses. When we think about these three dimensions, the renewal dimension, it is continually about improving our existing businesses. As IT, as operations, as digital teams, our endeavor in the world of renew is to continually find areas where we can excel in operations, where new technology, new advances help us get better. And that is about automation, about bringing operational excellence and cost savings into the way that we do our business. Increasingly, it is about modernizing our landscapes. We are seeing tremendous interest in moving off of mainframes for the first time in decades. We have companies like Infosys have done a lot of work in mainframe maintenance, but for the first time we see hundreds of companies becoming interested in getting off of mainframes and moving to cloud, moving to open infrastructures, and freeing up capacity from our existing business to save money, but also to free up capacity to do grassroots kinds of innovation. This is of course our endeavor as well. We are transforming our own company along these three dimensions. And the renewal for us is about not just delivering more value in our existing services, but to transform and rethink our services, whether it is application development and maintenance, or business process outsourcing, or IT infrastructure management, and continuously bringing in this duality of automation and artificial intelligence into all our services, as well as taking advantage of that productivity improvement that comes from that artificial intelligence towards innovating. We refer to this program as zero distance, this idea of bringing innovation into every project, into everything that we do with all our clients. Not just setting up an innovation center in Palo Alto or in Shanghai and calling it the innovation loop, but to bring innovation as a pervasively adopted, embraced culture all across the organization. And that in fact is our pledge. We want to make that a culture of our company, not just a center of excellence, not just a corner of our company. We want to make that the foundation of our company, that everyone inside the company is an innovator. And that promise we want to bring to you. We want to be the company that will do more with you than any other on empathy, on not just being kind and polite, but on empathy, meaning understanding what it is that you're trying to get done, and bringing a great, deep-rooted engineering excellence to that, and to ensure that that work therefore leads to a radical business outcome improvement. To talk about how we are bringing this to life in our work together with Oracle for all of you, I want to call on stage Sandeep. Sandeep Darlani is the president of Infosys, responsible for alliances, but also for our business in manufacturing, retail, CPG and logistics. Sandeep, come on over. And Sandeep is overseeing the work in this great service transformation.
Thank you, Vishal. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I've been itching to say this backstage, and now here. Infosys has the best Oracle practice in the world. That was the Infosys group, of course. 25,000 plus consultants, 1,100 plus Oracle implementations, 27 plus centers of expertise and excellence, 48 plus joint co-development work with Oracle in R&D, HCM, CX, planning and budgeting, and so on. What does all that mean to you? First, let's talk to the analysts. IDC and Forrester just rated us as the leaders in their partner assessment rating. So thank you, IDC and Forrester, wherever you are in the crowd. Oracle gave us an unprecedented 7 Global Excellence Awards this Oracle OpenWorks. Thank you, Oracle, for being such gracious hosts. The US Patent Office gave us a patent for our estimation frameworks, citing our predictability in our programs. But what does that mean to you? When Infosys and Oracle combine, how does that make it a next generation service engagement? How does it make it a zero distance engagement? I'm going to illustrate that with 3 short stories. My first client is a large global industrial conglomerate. 15,000 custom Oracle objects on Oracle 11i EBS. Yes, 50 plus countries, 45 plus Oracle modules, 250 business units. This is a hairy mess. And the senior leadership was scared to upgrade to Oracle 12. Rightly so. They didn't know how much business would get disrupted. Enter Infosys along with Panaya, a software we acquired about 24 months ago. In 24 hours, Panaya could tell them that don't worry, your manufacturing and order management business will not get disrupted by more than 2%. There's just 2% changes there. The most of the changes are happening in the finance processes, 45%. That's back office. You can take that. The leadership was happy. They went ahead and did the upgrade. In the 6 months of the upgrade, the global upgrade that ensued, Panaya was continuously pointing out to them the changes they should do, and more importantly, the changes they should not do. An upgrade like this usually takes 18 months, gentlemen and ladies. 6 months later, Panaya is still helping them keep their upgraded instance up to date in terms of security, patches, and various other things. Their testing team, they had a 20-people testing team running 15,000 regressions every now and then. Today, the testing team is just 4 people because Panaya is telling them what not to test. That's a great example of Infosys, Oracle, and Panaya coming together. My second client is a robotic solutions manufacturer and distributor. They sell robots, so 150 plus salespeople of this company go all over Americas and configure robots. They used to do it on Excel. They used to put together a price quote, I don't know, put the left arm of the robot along with the right arm on Excel and say this is the price. Maybe it was a little more complicated than that. This price quote was 30% of the time wrong because there were inaccuracies. You try putting up a bill of materials on Excel. Enter Infosys along with its consumer experience practice. And in 12 days, we put up an instance of Oracle CPQ Cloud, the Configure Price Quote Cloud. 12 days, ladies and gentlemen. 12 weeks later, everything is deployed with a visual, image-based, drag and drop configurator. The quotes, the number of quotes this team did in 1 month used to be 100. Now it's 400, 4 times the effect. Sales have gone up, and by the way, all quotes are 100% accurate. My third and final client is one of the best FMCG clients in the world. It's an FTC FTSE 30 client. It is present in 100 plus countries. They have a complex supply chain from a tax optimization purposes. They manufacture somewhere, distribute somewhere, and sell somewhere else, just so that they can avoid taxes and so on. That client had their GLs, the country GLs, general ledger postings overlapping. There were master data inefficiencies, transaction inefficiencies, etc. We put Infosys Mana, our AI platform, around the Oracle ERP footprint and started posting GL postings, simulating them on a daily basis. Every country CFO got a dashboard showing what were the GL postings yesterday, which were the gaps that they could point out in terms of master data, where information was not adequate and so on, driving a culture of accountability, data quality and accuracy. This client used to close his books in 14 days. Now we brought it down to 5, and using our machine learning, applying the constantly correcting the GLs, we're going to close their books in 2 days very soon. 3 stories illustrating people and software coming together, Infosys and Oracle coming together, zero distance coming together. Which of you would like to be in my next story? Thank you very much. Thank you, Vishal.
Thanks, Sandeep. So as you can see, there is a tremendous amount of work that Infosys and Oracle are doing all across the stack, from the infrastructure to the platform, the software as a service stack, and bringing together business process operations on top of that. Here is an example, a quote from our friends at Diebold, which is a joint Infosys Oracle customer, where we brought together and evolved their landscape, renewed their landscape from 40 outdated legacy systems to one that is based on the Oracle technology. You can see this. And similarly, another one of our joint customers which runs on the Oracle platform and the Oracle infrastructure, Syngenta, where we work together to bring our AI platform, Mana, to work together into automating and dramatically improving the operation of the kinds of work that Syngenta was doing. So all across the board, our own services, as well as all the layers of the stack being delivered by Oracle are things that we can work together on. But renew is not enough. Alan talked about this. We have to complement the work that we do in continually improving whatever is around us and get into the uncharted, unknown areas. Being different, things that we never did before. Every business has to think about what this means for us. What are the ways in which we can break out of the present context? Inevitably, for us, when we think about this, it means identifying where the new customers are, understanding what the new products and services are that are desirable to these new customers, that are feasible for us to deliver based on new technology, and that are economically viable, even if they are economically viable in a different reality. We have to do this, and we have to do this in new ways. Not only the new whats, but also the new hows. The new things that we bring to life have to be brought to life in completely new kinds of ways. And to get there, that is all about rapid prototyping, rapid iterations, agile, working on open platforms, even rethinking the way that we work in our workspaces. But it is also about problem finding. Not just about solving problems that we already know about, but finding the next problems that are relevant to us, that are important to us. At Infosys, we are embracing this idea in a very deep way. In some sense, a services company, per definition, works on things that are known, things that have been articulated, things that have been articulated by others. The innovation frontier for us is about bringing automation to that work, to the known work, bringing AI into that work, so that people can be amplified. And taking advantage of that saved productivity to become more innovative. We just finished teaching 110,000 Infosys employees design thinking. And people ask me, why are you teaching 110,000 people design thinking? By the end of this fiscal year, in March, we will have finished teaching every single employee of Infosys design thinking. Now, this doesn't make every employee a designer. For that, you need years and decades of work. But it does create a sense of curiosity, of seeing the world around us as an incomplete world, as a world that is yet to be shaped, a world that is missing things that can be brought in. It teaches us problem finding. And I believe that is essential to us. That amplification of the work that we are doing is all about problem finding. It is all about bringing our software and our new methodologies to amplify our humanity, to amplify the work that people do. Like water, and you see in the beautiful visuals around me, this is nature's act of renewal, a beautiful cherry blossom flower blossoming at extremely, in a time-lapse way, and at a very slow velocity. You saw waters in the earlier visuals. Water is a great connector for us. It connects things. Just as water connects things, things can dissolve in it. We can bring together fragmented, disconnected elements of our landscape, fragmented and disconnected products and services together with the power of software, whether it is our HANA software, our Scala software for digital, our Edge software for bringing automation to many of the business areas like purchasing and trade, and even automation of operations. Amplifying ourselves with software is the key to becoming more. Here is an example of a great company of our times, GE, that has continually reinvented itself. Also a great joint Infosys and Oracle customer. This is my friend Bill talking about how we have brought to bear new technology, digitization in the mechanical world, new ways of doing services, and even design thinking to reimagine an industry that is decades old. When we think about transforming ourselves, Alan talked about this briefly. I want to share with you a shocking statistic. 50 years ago, the Fortune 500 looked radically different than it does today. In fact, 438 of the Fortune 500 companies in 1956 are no longer in the Fortune 500. Many of them are not even around. 50 years is a long time. If we just look back 10 years ago, President Obama was not president yet. The iPhone wasn't out yet. Uber wasn't around yet. 10 years ago feels like just yesterday. 163 of the Fortune 500 companies that were in Fortune 500 in the year 2006 are not in the Fortune 500 anymore. I was thinking about this recently. It is amazing. All of these companies had innovation departments. All of these companies paid tons of money to innovation consultants, strategy consultants. And you think about what happened. The top 5 companies by market cap in the world today are all technology companies, tech companies. And I think about this, I think about the role of my company in this kind of a world. Is innovation really that hard? Is understanding what our future is going to be all about really that difficult?